Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Lottie and today I am doing my June stats and wrap up. I'm doing this a little bit late in the month. It's fine, it's still relevant. So yeah, today I'm talking about what I read in June and my statistics for the month as well, with what I've read, all that jazz. I'm also going to be talking you through my Marvelathon points. That was a readathon hosted by Lisa from Lisa Does Life, and also my Whateverthon points, which was hosted by Book Browsing Blog. Let's just get on with my stats. So I read a total of 9 books in June, and that is equal to 3,641 pages, which averages out to 121 pages per day. I had a really good reading month in June, and I read 4 4-star books and 5 5-star books, which was kind of weird. So of course my average rating is 4.5 stars per book of all the books that I read, because I rated them very highly. For genre, I had a very mixed bag. I read 3 fantasy, 2 contemporary, 2 sci-fi, 1 horror and 1 thriller. Who is she? Media, all of the books that I read this month were physical, not a digital book in sight to be seen. For format, 6 of the books that I read were novels, 2 were manga and 1 book was a comic. For my age categories, I read 4 adult books, 4 young adult books and 1 middle grade. And finally, 2 of the books that I read this month I borrowed from the library. 5 of them were books that I had hauled this year and 2 of them were books that I have hauled previously. Okay, so that's done and out of the way. Let me talk you through my Marvelathon and Whatever You Want-a-thon wrap up. Marvelathon didn't have like a bingo board or anything, so I did complete all of the prompts for Marvelathon. I was on Team Scarlet Witch and I got a total of 1,110 points for our team. Fantastic. We did come second in the end. The rankings were done by average points per person, so we came second. I think we did a pretty good job. We came first, I think, in the total number of points, but obviously when you average it out it goes down a bit. And then for Whatever You Want-a-thon, I was on the team Shelf Slayers and I got a total of 8,875 points for my team, and we won. I think again that was average points per person, and we won. So go Team Shelf Slayers, you know whose team to be on next year. So I don't think I completed all of the prompts for Whatever-a-thon. I will put my bingo board up here so you can see how that went, but I think I was just missing 1 prompt, which was host fave, because I just didn't get around to reading a host favourite book. So let's get on with the books that I read in June. So the first book that I read in June was Cowgirl by Kirsty, Eyre, and I think I had carried this over from May. It's been a while now. So this I borrowed from my library, and this is a adult contemporary / romance about a girl who goes to work back on her family's dairy farm after her dad falls sick, and I really enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun. We are following Billy, who is a lesbian, and she's kind of just trying to get her PhD. She's wanting to pitch her ideas for her PhD, and then her dad falls sick, so she has to go back and work on her farm, and she's kind of just struggling because she feels like she should be in London doing stuff for her PhD, and she has to literally dedicate her entire life to looking after her family's farm while her dad's in hospital. And kind of there's a romance going on in the background of this. It is described as a queer love story, and I don't really agree with that, because it was queer, there was a romance in it, but it was very much focused on Billy herself and small town life, kind of the sexism involved in the dairy industry, as well as homophobia you get from small towns, small villages. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the writing as well. I'm definitely going to be picking up more of Kirsty as books in the future. I rated this 4 stars. So the next book I read in June was Geralds Game by Stephen King, and I rated this 5 stars. I really loved it. This has been my favourite Stephen King book that I've read so far. So this is a adult thriller / horror. I found it more to be a thriller than a horror, so I kind of categorised it as a thriller. And we're following Jessie, that's her name, who is handcuffed to her bed after she accidentally kills her husband during a kinky escapade. And we're following Jessie stuck on this bed for the entirety of the book pretty much, and she's basically just trying to figure out how she can escape. It was so tense. I absolutely loved the way Stephen King built the tension throughout, because something would keep building and then it would go down again and then build up again. I really like the way that he did that. And kind of at the same time we're following something that happened to Jessie in her past, and she kind of like reminisces on it throughout the like 48 hours that the book takes place over, and that is very key to her escape basically. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. I would love to read more books that are very similar to this, so if you have any recommendations, like, please do let me know. So the next book that I read was Tomie by Junji Ito, and this is a absolutely massive manga about this girl called Tomie who keeps being killed and like coming back from the dead. Every person, every man she comes across is completely infatuated with her to the point where he goes insane and just wants to kill her. This is kind of like a series of short stories, I guess, following Tomie, and it was so weird. I love Junji Ito for his weirdness, and every time Tomie came back, like, it would just be something crazier and crazier. I really love the way that he kind of would like invent ways for Tomie to come back, whether it would be she just like randomly reappeared, she has like if some like a part of her body is cut off her, she can like grow into another Tomie, so there's like loads of Tomies running around. It was mental. I rated it 4 stars. I didn't love it quite as much as I did Uzumaki. I don't think anything will ever top that at this point with one of his books. Yeah, I really loved Uzumaki, and this kind of just missed the mark. I really enjoyed this. It was just weird, creepy, everything that you would expect from a Junji Ito manga. Then I read A Kiss of Light and Flame by M. Owens. So this is a very short, very tiny like novel. I mean, I kind of class it as a novel, but it is more of a novella, I guess. Fantasy story. So this was gifted to me from Catherine for Spoopy Hole's Pride Patreon gift exchange, and I decided to read it this month simply because it is so short. So I was like, why not? It's easy to squeeze onto my TBR. So because this is so short, it's kind of hard to talk about without giving everything away. But basically it's kind of a bit like The Princess and the Pauper, the Barbie version, and The School for Good and Evil as well, where we're following 2 characters. One is like a princess and one is like a witch, and it's sapphic as well, so they kind of meet and have a relationship with each other, and it is really cute. It was really short. It wasn't the best written thing in the world, but I kind of just ignored that and like sort of how cute it was. I definitely think it could have done with being longer and fleshing out the characters and the scene and everything, and obviously it was really short, but I think because it's a novella you kind of expect that. But yeah, it was just really cute. So I rated it 4 stars if I didn't say that already. Yeah, there is like several books in this series. I think they're companion novels more than a continuation of the same story, but I would love to read more of these little novellas because they were so cute and, you know, sapphic, so it's very cute. Then I read Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, and I rated this one 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. So this is obviously a sci-fi about a man who creates a dinosaur theme park. And I wanted to read this anyway, but I ended up picking it up when I did because I had just gone to see the new Jurassic World film and it just made me really want to read it, so I did. And I really loved it. I love Michael Crichton's writing style and kind of how he can make everything that happens in the book feel very real and like it's something that could actually happen. It's very technical, very science heavy, but I liked that, and I didn't understand all of it, but he explained it in a way where you could try to begin to understand it. And obviously it was all very tense as well. So we're following like Dr. Gran, everyone who's in Jurassic Park. If you've seen the film, you'll know exactly what happens in this. But yeah, like you're following all these characters and what happens to them in the park. It was like scary, even though I knew it was going to happen. And there are some like differences with a lot of the characters to what's in the film as well. I feel like Richard Attenborough's character, I can't remember his name, but the guy who owns the park, he is a lot more sinister in the book, I feel, and he's also a lot more evil, I guess. Like, he's your very stereotypical like rich guy who has more money than sense, really, and he's like obsessed with the idea of like, oh yeah, we can bring the park back, like it doesn't matter that this complete absolute disaster has happened, like we're just gonna redo it. I have got the second one checked out from the library as well, so I'm very excited to get to that at some point, hopefully soon. I just feel like because it was so science heavy, I needed like a breather from it all before I dive into the next one. So then I read Orange Volume 2 by Ichigo Takano, and I rated this one 5 stars as well. Oh my god, I loved it so much. So this is a manga series I started in May, and this is like the second binder of that series. So this follows Naho, who gets a letter from her future self saying if she doesn't like change some things in her life, something really bad's going to happen. And yeah, it's just so cute. So like as like the second volume, or like the last couple of volumes I guess in the series, like it was just sort of building up to like a big event at the end. It was quite tense and also really, really emotional, but I absolutely loved it. I bawled my eyes out. Like it was just so cute, so sweet. There's like a found friendship group in this, like a found family type scenario, and they were all just so cute. Yeah, I really like this, and I really like the art style in this as well. Like it's just quite sweet. I'd love to read more of Ichigo Takano's books as well. At the end of this volume as well, there is a short story which I enjoyed, but it kind of took away the emotional impact of reading Orange, because it's kind of a completely separate thing, and I read it immediately after finishing the last bit of Orange, so it kind of took away that emotional impact for me. So I felt like, I mean, I could have obviously taken a break to read the short story, but yeah, but the short story at the end was also very cute. I just loved it. Definitely recommend this manga series. Then I read Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, which is the first book in the Infernal Devices series. And as you guys know, I've been reading all the Shadowhunters books as a part of By the Angel Along. I'll leave a link in the description to the announcement video for that. We're about halfway through the read along now, which is absolutely insane. So we were reading The Mortal Instruments, and we're taking a break to read this series before we finish the last book in The Mortal Instruments. And I really enjoyed this. I thought it was going to be a 5-star for me, but I think it just missed the mark. So this was 4 stars. If I did half-star ratings, it would have been like a 4.5. I might go back to doing half-star ratings next year, because a lot of books I feel are like in the category down when I feel like they should be somewhere in the middle. Anyway, so this is following Tessa, who is from America. She goes to London to kind of like find her brother who's gone missing. She gets captured and is rescued by Shadowhunters at the London Institute. And what I loved about this, I think, is the London setting. Seeing like Victorian London like was just really cool. I really loved the characters in this, especially Charlotte, who is the head of the institute, and it was kind of weird reading about a character who has the same name as me, but I really liked her. But yeah, I really liked Tessa, Will and Jem as like a trio. I really got on with this, and I'm so excited to read the next one. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I really liked the historical setting, which really surprised me because I'm not much of a historical reader, but I quite liked it in this one, with all like the fantasy elements as well. So yeah, 4 stars. This was really good. Then I read Life is Strange Volume 6, Settling Dust, which is the final volume in the Life is Strange comic series, which is a continuation of the game Life is Strange, which follows Chloe and Max. Max has time travel powers, and it's kind of just like a series of chaos theory events that happen to Max. Yeah, I rated this 5 stars. It was a fantastic ending to the series after a couple of volumes that kind of felt like they were just postponing the end, I guess. I feel like it wrapped up very quickly though, considering we had 2 volumes where not a lot happened, but I absolutely loved it. It made me cry. I love these characters so much, having been with them for such a long time since I first played the game to finishing the comic series, which is canon. Yeah, I absolutely love this. If you like light sci-fi and like romance and like, oh, just so many cute vibes. Chloe and Max are fantastic. I just love these guys so much. At the end, there's kind of like a teaser for the newest game that's come out as well. It's a bit of a prequel, which I'm very excited about because I haven't played Life is Strange 2 or the newest one, which I think is called True Colours or something. So I kind of like that this ties back into that series, like the games themselves. So yeah, it makes me wonder if they're going to do more comics in this world, and if they do, I'm very much looking forward to it. And then finally, I read Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan, which is the first book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, which I feel like I'm the last person on earth to have not read this book yet. I loved it. 5 stars. It was fantastic. I don't know why I've waited so long to read this book. It was awesome. So I had seen the movie before, but not for a really long time. I really loved like kind of trying to match up what was happening in this book to what I could remember from the film and what I know of Greek myth as well. So this is following Percy, who finds out he is a half-blood, and he goes to Camp Half-Blood where he receives a quest, and it's kind of just the story of him on this quest with his friends. A lot of references to Greek mythology, obviously, because it's based on the ancient Greek gods. I really loved it. I really want to pick up the next book in the series really soon. I enjoyed it so much that I don't want to lose that momentum, and I'm very much looking forward to the new series coming out on Disney Plus now, because it was just really good and really fun as well. And I'm already picturing the new cast as these characters, which is cool. So yeah, I really love this. So that's everything that I read in June. Let me know down below if you have read any of these books and what you've thought of them if you have. So yeah, a pretty good reading month for me last month. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and let me know in the comments down below what you read in June. I would love to hear what's going on in your reading life. If you haven't already and you would like to be, please do consider subscribing. I do try and post a new video every single week, but no promises here. Thanks again, and I will see you soon with a new video.